Hi everyone, welcome to the Decentralized Voices podcast. My name is Daria and I'm thrilled to host Aixa and Juliana, two remarkable women in the Web3 space.
Hello.
Hello.
Having us.
Aixa leads the ecosystem at Sophon and is well known for her hot takes and sharp insights. Juliana, also known as Bachi, leads the brand and community at Rootstock and is my favorite ambassador for Argentina on crypto Twitter. This episode introduces a new format on the Decentralized Voices podcast in which Aixa, Juliana, and I will debunk or confirm 10 most popular crypto marketing myth. Stay tuned for the entire episode and don't forget to like and share it with your friends who still believe in a tooth fairy and in product growth without marketing. I prepared 10 opinions most popular among crypto Twitter, and I want you to discuss them with me and decide if they make sense and if we can propose something instead of these opinions.
Let's go.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
So, first opinion is build and they will come. Aisha, what do you think?
It's a myth. I'm really tired of people saying the product will market itself. Doesn't work like that. I even think that even like prescriptions, medications, everything has marketing. We need marketing for everything. If you don't do marketing, nobody's gonna know about it, and they're not gonna understand what you're doing. So that's a myth for sure.
Woof. Bachi, what do you think?
We started it hot. I think the same thing. It's a myth. You're tweeting, you're doing marketing. You're doing a video, you're doing marketing. You're going to an event and you're doing marketing. We all do marketing in some sort of way, from our personal brand to brand marketing for companies. We're all trying to share a bit of our lives, and that's marketing. I'm sorry to say, guys, but that's the truth.
Yeah, thank you. I remember this post from Barachain team. They tried to convince people that they are not doing marketing, basically doing all marketing things and trying to promote themselves as much as possible. I agree with you. And yes, guys, you can't grow your product without marketing and without being visible in the space and out of it. So this myth is busted.
It is.
It is busted. Yeah, definitely.
The next one is you don't need a big budget to compete. How much money do you need to succeed in marketing?
That's a tough one. Well, I think if you have a lot of money, you can create good things probably, but money isn't everything. Like if you don't have creativity and you're gonna copy others, then probably you're not gonna have a lot of visibility. And also I think social media changed the game a lot. Do we know if Dubai chocolate is actually a hype because people love it, or it's an orchestrated campaign? Are we trying to sell pistachios to everyone because the pistachio market is down, and you have a lot of marketing budget for that? I think budget is important, and sometimes in some company is like you don't have a budget at all. Like there is no budget. You need to ask like, hey, I need to do an event. And they will be like, oh, sure. How much is it? And then they will be expecting like, I don't know, an amount that isn't real. So I think budget is really important. But also I'm a fan of like guerrilla marketing or like doing small things, vampire attacks. You can do marketing without a lot of money. I mean, I'm Argentinian. We don't have a lot of money. We are used to that. So when I'm working with a big client, it's like, oh my God, this is the budget. I'm being rich right now. So I don't know if this is a myth or not.
I think it's more of like underfunding or overfunding marketing can kill growth. Sometimes like you have a lot of money and then you have you're not able to like justify where you need to spend it, or you're not getting the resources. Money will help with distribution, but if you don't have a narrative, you don't have a strategy, if you don't have the right audience, if you don't focus on the actual foundation of marketing, it's like money can't buy anything. As Aisha said as well, is like I've been on teams where you have to be really lean, like you have like a couple bucks and deal with it, to like $1 million budgets. And you just have to be smart about it. Once you have the strategy, you're able to do better with that money. So it's hard to say if it's like actual myth or if it's truth. I feel like it's more than you need it. You just have to like sit down, do the work, and think where you want to spend it and how you want to spend it. I'm like a bit on the fence on it because I don't know if I can say if it's a myth.
I think that it's also healthy to know how's the rational budget to expand. Because if you're like a crypto company, for example, and you have a lot of money and you can do crazy stuff, but is that sustainable in time? Are you actually making marketing that converts in whatever convert means for you? Is it revenue? Is it users? Is it partnerships? So if you're spending a lot of money that you are not gonna be, I mean, you're gonna burn it, you're not gonna be able to have it again in the short term, then you're not using the money in the right way.
It's very depends on the niche, because if you compete in, for example, a niche of crypto exchanges, they can't do without spending millions on advertising, paid campaigns, and other stuff. It's obvious that they can't grow and they can move without spendings. But if we talk about some small startup with some creative ideas, and if you have small budget, you can be creative and you can be very lean and interesting. I also remind myself this campaign that Aixa did in Cannes, in t-shirts among people, and making this quest. It was super cool. It was super creative. How much did you spend on this? Like few hundreds bucks?
You will need to consider the price of the swag. That I don't know. We rent a van. We have like a few stickers for the van, and of course the videographer that I think is part of the budget. And my presence was real expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
Besides that, I think it wasn't really expensive at all. Like, not way to compare it with a crypto event. No way. And I think that's the thing. Like, creators are making a lot of content, making big brands grow, and they don't spend much. Honestly, if you only have a phone, you can start great content. You don't even need a mic. So that's a good way.
We can summarize that if you're creative, you can do great things without big budget or small budget. But if you don't have ideas, sorry, you don't have marketing, yeah, and you don't have growth. The next myth is tokens keep people engaged and airdrops create loyal users. So girls, what do you think about this?
Tokens and airdrops honestly like buy a lot of attention. I don't think all of them buy loyalty or by kind of like or encourage or incentivize the thing. What it keeps people engaged is more on kind of like community value and product market fit, which is really hard on crypto. I'll say maybe just a rough number, but like 80% of the projects don't have, or 70% of the projects don't have product market fit. They're trying to find it, and that's totally fine. I understand tokens and I understand airdrops. I did them. I like been part of some of them, but honestly, I feel like it's great for kind of like one, incentivizing and giving back to your community, the ones that are truly there from the beginning. But I don't think that that saying will like be everyone will pay attention to me. I think Nillian did a lot of work pre-launching a token with the community. And I think that was the kind of like the right way to do it. Of like, okay, first building the community, building the storyline, building the brand, and then bring in the token and to like, okay, now this kind of like confirms or incentivize a bit more to people staying there. But I've seen like airdrops and being like handled to like people with Discord roles. I don't think that's it. Like, you shouldn't give them to anyone. I feel like we should work more towards airdrops to like truly give it to the people who are truly doing something. For example, the Boundless one that happened yesterday, I think, or early this week. I think that was pretty good. All the airdrops have like little things, but yeah, that's my really long answer. Now you, Aixa, that you put me in the spot.
Let me start. Oh, of course, I love getting airdrops. Someone wants to send me one, I will leave my wallet here. But I don't think they're a good marketing strategy. Why? Well, first, as Bachi said, you're buying attention. And that's fade. It's gonna fade after TGE. People's gonna sell the airdrop the minute they got it. They're gonna be present somehow. I know for a fact some people getting a 20K airdrop, not even knowing how they did it. Like, oh, I don't know. I yap about that a few times. They don't even know about the project they're yapping about. Like, they're like going through the docs, some ChatGPT. I mean, I'm not saying everyone's doing this, but most of them, if you ask them, they don't know what the project is about. So imagine taking those 20K and paying to UGC creators. Like, if you want to fake it, like if you don't have a community and you need to fake it for some reason, like, I don't know, there is a BC asking you to do that or whatever, you can use that money in a better way and they will continue doing it. Because like 20K, it's a huge budget for a creator. So I think doesn't make any sense. Also, I think like the community thing, it's not working because this is how I see airdrops. So crypto has a lot of money to spend, but it's always the same users. So people is not really excited about a new product. People is not needing a new product that is the same that the previous ones. So how do you engage that people? There is the only amount of people that is paying attention to crypto. You pay insane amount of money. That's what you do. And then you have a lot of people posting like, I got this art or whatever. So that's a problem because think about Web 2. When in your life would you offer K to a creator to yap 2 times about your products? Never. It makes no sense. Like, go and say that to a Web2 CEO and it's going to say you're crazy. So we're paying a lot of money because we're talking to the same people over and over. It's getting higher, more difficult to call their attention.
I totally agree with you both. We don't get any reward from, I don't know, shampoo brand or from microphones or from laptop for buying their product. So they don't pay us for using their products. We pay them because they produce good stuff. They produce good laptops, good microphones, good water, whatever. And we as a customers, as the users of their products, pay them for their work. And if the company pays others for being with them for a few months, like few weeks, few days, they pay them 5K or K, and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't create loyalty. It creates attention, it buys attention, but obviously it doesn't make any sense if we think about loyalty and love mark and making people fall in love with our brand.
If people is creating content, if people is participating in Discord, I don't know if they're actually using your platform, they're beta testers, whatever, and you can reward them, that's amazing. Let's do it. But if you're just gonna like took money to people just for they're in an info vibe or and they didn't even know about you, you're burning money.
Yeah, and this myth is also busted. You mentioned community, and my next take is about community. People say that community is everything. What do you think? Is community everything? And how can you define the value of the community?
Depends what you call a community. Because in crypto, when I was coming from Web 2, I was like, why every project has a community? Like, this is not normal. Like, it's because they don't have users and they have communities. We don't have communities. And first, I was amazed because I was like, oh, how cool, how easy is here to create a community, which is pretty cool because there is some phenomenons like Batty Penguins and any other NFTs are hype right now, Milady even. You create communities about like certain IP. That's super interesting. And I think you can use that for leverage as well. And also I think it's because crypto doesn't have like the identity layer. People doesn't have anything to identify with. Where you're gonna identify with a L2, with a token. So you need to create some narrative, some like culture around it. Maybe a penguin makes more sense. I think it depends what a community is and why do you want a community. So you want to have fans, you're going to have followers. It's not advocates. Like it's not the same, I think. And also, is your community real? Is it like they actually care? I think that's the question before knowing.
Or did you buy them during the airdrop process?
We do this in Argentina, but he can tell you. Your community.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. I have similar thoughts to Asia, but at the same time, being on B2B SaaS before coming to Web3 and crypto, there's a sense of community. It comes from video gaming and comes from also from developers. I used to work in cybersecurity and identity management, which is like not a fun or like an engaging thing to do, but you had to build community for them. It didn't make it like a cult or something, but it was like community, like they get the extra thing. Kind of like, okay, you have a better access to something, you have a refund or like, I don't know, discount for something. It was different. When I started in crypto, I was like, okay, this is a whole new world of communities. And between the roles and the airdrops and do this quest and participate in this and allocate here and stake there. What the fuck is happening? Sorry, cursing. But I still feel like So I would say community is almost everything. I kind of like stand by it. I'm a community manager at heart. So I know the community can drive a lot. And I feel like, for example, you brought it, Bachi Penguins. It was meant for community and run by the community and led by the community. And I feel like as we grow, most of the projects are taking the high road on that and trying to like buy them with to kind of like fake this community instead of like actually put in the work. I feel like some projects are doing a great thing. For example, in Rootstock, we were the first Bitcoin sidechain back in 2018. That's like a really long time. There was nothing like we know here today in crypto. And yeah, we like struggled like last year with a lot of like new communities. But we like saw at the end of the day, our true community, like our like short, like small community still here, still believing in us. And we still reward them. We still give them back with many, many things. And we saw that the rest of like the L2s were it's Bitcoin. Yeah, it's not enough to just to buy them. You need to build a true community inside that believes in what you believe. That at the end of the day is making crypto a better place for everyone.
I will say community is everything, but it truly depends. For example, meme coins, we are a community, they don't exist. Like for meme coins, it's everything you need. But I don't know. If you think about like really huge brands, they don't have a community, like an actual community. So if I tell you what's the Uniswap community,
Their DAO, I guess their DAO is more active than like their community because they actually do something there. Yeah.
I think sometimes communities are only ways to have people engage there and they can turn over you as well. So there is a risk in having a community. I think I will say community is everything, but as everything that you need in marketing, you need to really know the limits and you really need to know how it's going to work.
I agree with you. And I liked how Bachi highlighted the communities from gaming because I guess they are like true believers and they have these groups and chats and they are very active and involved because they have their favorite game and they don't expect that this game will pay them for playing, but they come to Comic Cons, for example, cosplay. They have super cool community, and I knew one girl, and she was producing this cosplay costumes, and this is like very interesting, weird in a good way community, and they super dedicated to their ideals, to their mission, and everything. And if you have this, like. If you have these values and mission around, you can create this community and this community will thrive and grow and everything. But if you pay your people for using your product, it's not community, it's like paid users. So that's normal, but it's not the community and it's not about everything. Aixa reminded me about memes, and I have the myth number 5 that memes are a growth strategy. So what do you think? Can you use memes as a growth strategy?
I think memes are great to use. My favorite ones is like when a brand really knows how to jump into a trend. We seem like Ryanair with the Coldplay festival thing that happened there. When a brand is like has their own voice and everything, and sometimes makes a joke, that's amazing. Like even when like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, like they start talking to their community in the same language, I think that's amazing. And that's something Twitter gave to us. Like brands can actually interact with us in a different way. It's not the same in other social media platforms. Using Twitter, we are all equal. You can like DM whatever you want. You can like comment whatever.
Yeah, Bachi, what do you think?
She's just gonna hate me for this. I don't think it's a growth strategy. I think it's a part of a strategy. I don't think it's a strategy. But yes, she's right. I love memes. We've seen it from like if you've been here or doing social media since 2018 or 2015, this was the one that like truly like the shit poster that was like breaking everything. Then Duolingo, for example, made memes their brand. They created their own memes as well. Like they created trends. There's a lot of crypto brands that use memes as like they need to do it. If not, they won't survive. I see it more like when I said that it's not a strategy is because I feel like it's a tactic or a topic or bucket within a strategy because it builds out the identity. But yeah, it is a strategy. It is like a decision of like building the identity of a brand. Okay, we're gonna go full like shit poster mode, memes. You have to build an identity. And I think this like kind of like steers back to like community, and we've been talking about building your like vision, everything. I'm not a great shit poster because I always like think too much of brands and think too much of everything. I think their strategy, I don't know if like they're the growth strategy, because at the end of the day, you need to like complement it with other parts. But sometimes every now and then, I've even used it. Even when I was working like in cybersecurity, or like when I joined Rootstock, I remember it was like, we need to be more like friendlier or like native to Twitter and crypto Twitter. It is a lot of ship posting, and we need to build this kind of like closeness with the audience. And I've had my share of like memes every now and then. They did amazing. They did good. At the end, like as we build out our strategy, that they like fall in like as a priority. But I sing great. I still love them. I kind of like, I'm a really great reply shit replier meme. I'm not good at creating my own things. I would say for me, it's a myth. It's not true, but yeah, I will let you die.
Actually, I agree with you, Bachi. I guess that this part of the whole strategy, and you can use them as part, but not like as the main strategy.
Sometimes there is brands like forcing the meme, like, oh, I'm gonna jump into this trend that is on crypto Twitter. I don't know why I'm gonna jump. How can I jump? That makes no sense. Please don't do it anymore. But if it's actually funny, I think it hits because people is gonna remember that you make them laugh. I was thinking like there was in Argentina this like it was a Facebook page. Yes, I'm that old. That they used to create memes about like political situations. Do you remember, Bachi? And
I'm also old. Thank you.
it was all about it. It was only memes. And I was like, how these guys are creating memes so fast every time. But that's not the like a real strategy for most of the brands, because the brands are not funny in general and you're not always inspired. So I don't think it's a strategy, but it's also good for building communities. If you're just talking about communities like Pepe or Chad or whatever meme you want.
Well, you brought something. I like that you brought Pepe, because like I've seen brands even like doing their own version of it. And that kind of like debunks that I said that it's not a growth strategy. Thank you, Aixa, for defending memes. Yes, as like it will depend always on your brand. It always comes back on like marketing. It depends, because doing memes and like owning memes as a brand identity is a risk, because they can flop, they can do great, but then you have to keep on doing it. And people will ask for more. Yes, memes are a strategy.
God bless the memes.
Yeah, that's confirmed. So the ethics opinion is that personal brand equals number of followers. More followers means that you have stronger personal brand. What do you think? Bashi, let's start from you.
Reach or followers doesn't mean reputation and doesn't mean brand. I'm going to start with that. You can have thousands. You can have more thousands of followers, and at the end of the day, it's all bots. Today, we've seen also like a lot of people building their personal brand, but a true personal brand is what people say about you when you're not talking or you're not posting. People, they're like mentioning you in places, they're inviting you to things. It's really tight today with hiring. And like you don't need a personal brand to become someone in crypto and web 2, whatever you want to do. If you want to become a content creator, you might want to like take attention to that. But yeah, I don't feel like it's just different worlds.
Thank you. Aisha, what do you think?
I think that, of course, followers are important to measure the size of your community. Something that I don't know why marketers sometimes take some time to understand is like micro or nano influencers. They have way more engagement. Maybe I can call myself like a micro. Like
You definitely influencer. Yeah.
first time I'm calling like myself like that. I think that if I'm a brand or I'm a brand trying to hire someone or trying to work with a creator, I want to see their engagement. First, because it's like not something you can fake. I mean, you can fake it, of course, you can blow your account, whatever, but it's pretty obvious. But the engagement, it's actually it's people are gonna tell what you said, because at the end, when you're hiring someone to talk about your brand, You want people that will listen. Like if I tell you, buy this token, you're going to do it. If I tell you, try this product, you're going to do it. That's what brands want. So is the amount of followers? Of course not. I found out some time ago that there was some campaigns that were airdrop you followers. I didn't even know this existed, but I asked a friend. I was like, hey, you have a lot of followers, but you have no engagement. What happened? And he was like, oh, I got a follower airdrop. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is the way I found to explain what I used to have clients, why not buying followers. And his followers are like friends. So if you buy your friends when the money is around, you're not going to have friends anymore. I don't think followers are a good metric to know how one person can have influence to other people. But it's a really nice metrics of follow. I love followers.
Actually, I agree with you. Engagement is everything, I guess, in the game. And I will never stop repeating that I was rejected by one guy who mentioned that I don't have 2K followers because he had like 20K followers, and I couldn't manage a big account because I didn't have like the same amount as he had. And then I checked out his profile, and yes, he had 20K followers, but 2 likes per post and like nothing, just clear page. And obviously there were no friends. He bought his friends, and all his friends are bots. And I know some services who propose you this engagement, so they don't just add you followers, but they also make your page more engaged, and they put likes and some comments. But obviously Twitter blocks all of them, or almost all of them, and then your profile goes to shadow ban. So you become like from just less known person, you become a person in the gray zone, and your profile goes down. So I wouldn't recommend to buy followers.
Please don't. Don't buy them. You will regret it. And also with the new algo changes in Twitter, don't do it.
Yeah, they're changing every week or every 2 weeks, and it's super hard to follow. So just be yourself. And yes, this myth is debunked, and the number of followers doesn't mean that you have big personal brand or you're a famous person. Okay, so the sixth myth that, Bachi, I know you like this, that you must do 20, 30, 50 replies per day to stay visible on Twitter.
I would say it's not the quantity, it's the quality, and more so like the new algorithm change as well. I feel like, yes, it helps sometimes when you're trying to like grow, but it doesn't mean that you have to like do the 2050 everywhere. I think you can do them. It's just you need to be strategic about it. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality as well. I was talking to Aixa this morning about like, I post and I see like an instant reply, and I feel like it's people just having accounts kind of like in lists or targeted to like, oh, they posted, let's just say whatever, like, yes, I agree. I was like, that doesn't mean anything. Do it just for like for the long game, like of credibility, building your identity. I also would say it's not that you need to do it every single day. If you want to do it meaningfully, being strategic and providing something, anything at all, from being funny to like mean to value to whatever you want. It helps sometimes, but I feel like if you're more strategic on like what do you want to say, you don't need to do 20 or even 50 or even 100. Can be proven wrong. Aixa, the floor is yours.
I think it depends. And I'm going to explain. I used to have a boss that he was obsessed with volume. Like he was hitting the gym. Yeah. He was having those like CEO coaches. And he was like, in social media, everything is about the volume. And it was like, no, dude, it's not like that. But I was forced to create a lot of volume for a lot of channels during all the time I work in that company. So I tested actually if volume works. And I'm going to say, no, doesn't work. But for Twitter, it's a different game. And I'm going to explain to you why. So, and this is I'm going to reveal one of my tricks. So the reply guy strategy, it may work if you do it well. Like there is a lot of people that it's annoying. They're going to respond to you. You know, they didn't even read what they're responding to. Every time you tweet good morning DM, people's going to come and say DM. So they are automated. But depends on your metrics and why you want those metrics to exist. For example, I'm trying to be monetized. And for that, I need a lot of impressions. And of course, I can create bangers every day. But sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's like I'm not hitting the mark. So how do I get like a good amount of impressions all time? So if you go and reply to huge accounts like 1 million followers and you are really fast replying to those accounts, even an emoji, you're gonna have a lot of impressions. And I need that metric. Ellen will pay me for being there, tweeting every day. So it truly depends what's your goal. So what I will do, it's replying 50 times a day if you want, if you have the time, or if you want someone that's going to do it for you. Because a lot of big brands, and this is very obvious to say, but a lot of brands that you talk with, they're ghostwriters. I was so dumb one time. I was in a conference and I say to a guy like, hey, how are you? You interact with my posts. Happy to meet you in person. And he feels like, that's ghostwriter. I don't know you. And I was like, okay.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Anyway, I think it's that if you want to start to have your own community, you should go and reply every day to people that you want to interact with and start making friends. It's not only interacting. It's like actually if you resonate what they're saying, it's just making something that is natural for you. It's like, this is funny. I'm gonna respond LOL at least. Or I like this. I agree with this. You can reply that. It takes 5 minutes, makes the creator really happy, an actual connection. So I will think, yeah, reply those times a day is good as an exercise, but what for? Like, what's your goal? Is making friends? Okay, then go and reply to the same people. You want impressions, so Ella will pay you. Go and reply to everyone. Every drop counts. So I think depends on your metrics and your goals.
Yeah, thank you. So, to summarize your answers, I can say that you don't need to say GM 50 times per day to different accounts, but you can leave meaningful comments and you can be visible, making friends at the same time and being active with the people you actually like. And okay, so the next one. If you have a job, you can't be good at shitposting.
Kiss me. Well,
Can I start?
Yes. So I'm gonna reveal something about my personal life. I used to have a job and I was called out a few times for shitposting. So I
How it
think
was?
I don't know if I want to like go dive into the details, but I know this happens to a lot of people that you're being called out for like, okay, you're not being serious or you are flirting on the timeline. That doesn't look good, or you are being aggressive or whatever. So that people doesn't understand the lore of the internet. And crypto has a lot of internet culture, which is what I love because I was one of the first people in actually like all my families and friends when I was a kid to have internet. So I was raised at the computer. So I love internet culture. And I think ship posting is about that. And if a brand doesn't understand that that's your core, that's your creativity going there, they don't deserve you. So that's what I think. I think there is a limit between shit posting and having a job. There are things you cannot say for sure, but those are not related to shit posting. It's more like being aware of what your brand is doing and not trying to hurt it. I think that's the thing. And of course, that's going to limit your creativity, but it's the same when you work with imagine you're an influencer and you're working with different brands. If you offend someone of those brands, they're going to start like no wanting you. Actually, this happened in Argentina. There was influencer that a lot of people were saying that she was a smelling butt and she was having a partnership with Karen Herrera and they fired her because everyone was saying she was a smelling butt. I don't know if she smells bad or not, but that's what I mean. Like, is this hurting your brand? Like people saying that is hurting the brand? Of course it is in that case. So I think there is some limits you need to have, and of course it's up to you if you want to shitpost about like really hard stuff, like I don't know, going into politics or stuff like that. But we should all have free of speech.
I'm not a good shit poster, but I know I'm good at creating content. Most of the content that we do and that we live and like from a Twitter post to an Instagram story comes from experience. Like if you're not sharing your experience, and we've seen it across from companies to people like searching their jobs. Actually, that's how I met Aixa at that time that she was struggling with this job. I feel like you're not taking account that we're all people trying to get along with each other and tweeting and sharing and doing a video, doing this. It's a way of knowing who they are. And if you hire someone like they already had like a type of brand and you're like, okay, you cannot tweet more about this. Yeah, as I just said, they don't deserve you and you should never change who you are. And at the same time, I feel like we should encourage more people to share things. And I've been in teams where like people are really scared of tweeting or saying something or showing from like, oh, we're working on this in fear of like, I don't know, someone from leadership or whatever saying something, or like, oh, no, maybe I'm saying something that's like illegal or whatever. And it's like, unless you're saying like, buy this, buy the dip, or I don't know, something that's like really like financial advice, at least in crypto, just do it. Like nobody cares that much.
When I started shitposting, I was looking for a new role. And a lot of people, like a lot of interviewers, said to me, like, oh, I love your shitposting. And I was like, honestly, you're saying that for real? And I think that if you have a normal employee, like I think crypto needs to do this exercise to coming back to normal life again. You know, this is not the reality we live in. So if you have a person that is a comedian and has a 9 to 5 role, you're gonna leave that person being a comedian. Well, shitposting is the same, and there's gonna be a few companies that are not gonna like it. But if they don't like it, and this is your shitposting as well, because if you're cringe, that's a different game.
We just debunked that myth that if you have a job, you can't be good at shitposting. So basically, you can be great at shitposting and you can be like amazing shitposter and the best asset for your company. Okay, we have 2 left. And one I know that Aixa likes very, very much. You have to be bald or have ADHD to be good founder or good crypto marketer.
Well, I already have ADHD, so I'm thinking about shaving my head.
When
I was just considering it. I think this is kind of real, right? I mean, look at this. They all are bald and have ADHD. Is this like the consequence or this is the reason? Yeah, I'm trying to make a thesis here, you know? Like, are people like exposed to
chicken
more
or egg.
dopamine,
Yeah.
a lot of dopamine, like our attention spans are really short and we're also stressed. So we're losing our hair. So maybe it's the consequence. It's like proof that you're committed to the project. And I know Bachi has a strong opinions about this.
I spent too much money on my hair. I can't be bald, but I'm a great marketer. Yeah, it's the whole conversation. I feel like it's kind of what we talked about, the hype and the trends and the memes. I have ADHD and I'm a great person. I still have my hair, so I'm gonna keep it. I was thinking about this. It's like they're great founders, they're bald. And I feel like and I've met even people that when they were like losing their hair, and when they went bald, maybe something changed for the good or for the bad. But yeah, we have great founders. They're there. I don't think we need to shave our heads. Please don't do it, Aixa. You also spend a lot of money in our head. Don't do it. Or maybe like you will save a lot of money. But yeah, I feel like it's just crypto loving archetypes and stereotypes, and in reality, is more like we're just trying to do our best, bold or not, GAG or not.
I discussed this question with my husband, and he had the same opinion as Aisha had, that if you stress enough to lose your hair, probably you're a great founder and great marketers. That's how it works.
If the founder has hair, the project may be too early.
I'm gonna shave my hair. This
You know how much time I spend like brushing my hair, like drying it every day?
guys, I'm gonna look like a big baby if I shave my hair. So no, it's not a good look for me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna still brush it or put it in a bun or whatever. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna go bald.
We think that it's myth, and actually your talent depends on your skill set and not on your boldness or having some ADHD diagnosis. And the 10th myth, that you should build a cult to have a successful Web3 product.
You should.
You should.
You should. Yeah.
I should? Who should?
Everyone should. If you want to succeed in crypto, you need to have a cult. Miladies are a cult. Penguins a cult. And actually, In crypto, we love changing the names of things. It's not a cult, it's a love brand. What's a love brand? It's a brand that people love so much. They identify with the brand in an emotional way, and they try to sell it to everyone. You know, like when you love a product, you're gonna go to your friends. It's amazing. It's the best brand. I love it. Look how cool it is. And you're gonna engage and you feel like a connection with that brand. And that's creating a cult. If you put money into the cult, it may be illegal. That happening, you may end up in a documentary Netflix. Building a cult thing is like what in crypto we're trying to say, building a brand that people loves and people identifies with that. This is an industry that was built about tech, and I'm sure that a lot of devs are not friends with marketers, so they started all the companies without any marketing. So brands are horrible, boring, they don't look good, they don't have cool aesthetics. So when you start having that like lifestyle culture layer, we were creating culture for crypto, and also like being anon for so much time. I started like having NFTs as an identity and that kind of things. But now we need to attach that into brands. So I think creating cult is actually connecting with a bigger vision, like making people believe, or actually, if it is actually, that they are being part of something bigger. Because that we want as a humans beings. Like humans, we're still alive because of illusions, because of the future, because of what we can build. Coca-Cola is the best example. They own all the market. They have any problem with selling the product. There is a lot of people that is addicted actually to the products, and they're still doing marketing, and they're still being a love brand, even like merch and stuff. You go to H&M and you have a Coca-Cola t-shirt, and people will buy it and do advertising for free.
Thank you. Bachi, what do you think?
I would say it's culture, kind of like what Aisha said. You're building a culture. She kind of like stole my thoughts on like Nike and everything, but it comes to that. It's emotion. It's being related to something, feeling close to something, feeling like, hey, this brand feels close to me, or it makes me part of something bigger, or it makes me feel welcome. It comes from like Nike to, I don't know. I'm talking about what's the name of the Kim Kardashian's clothing brand?
Stem?
Skins. Same thing. She appeared because she's a big name. Well, all the Kardashians are brands, but all the drops get sold out because it makes you be part of something. The Apple, the iPhone. Every time there's a new iPhone, they get sold out. Also, curious how they don't foresee the getting sold out. Anyways, another conversation. But I feel like it comes to that, just emotions, closeness, being related, and that all comes to foundation. Like being understanding who you are as a brand. If you were a person, what describes you? What's your tone? What's your voice? What you strive for? You can't be a good brand for everyone because that you're not going to get anywhere. It's just like, okay, find your niche first, start small, or like define one audience that will like drive everything. I was used to work in cybersecurity. Everyone's like, no, cybersecurity is really serious. And this is like really actionable stuff. And I was like, yeah, but developers are not. And it's not something that is a nice to have. Sorry, it's not something that they must have. It's a nice to have on their skill set. So how can we make cybersecurity fun? And that was when we like, okay, do memes, do things that they feel close to. And that's how we build a culture around the brand that I used to work with. You need to build a culture around your brand. And as I just said, like build this love brand kind of perspective.
In coins, creating culture out of nowhere, and they're even monetizing it. So it's pretty interesting to see. Like they are creating a community and a whole like way of being around that. If I like mention a meme coin right now, you're gonna picture what type of person is buying that meme coin.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, what meme coins are the most successful, in your opinion, in terms of brand awareness and mindshare love from the community?
Probably
It's the first one that broke kind of like through the noise and made an impact, and that allowed the rest of the meme goes like, we can do this. Yeah, I'm not a meme coin person. I would choose Doji.
Yeah, I also thought about them.
Fartcoin has a big community. It's
That's
pretty
true.
interesting, like everything how it's stored and everything is pretty cool. But yeah, no, in terms of IP, I think Pepe probably is the best one. I think it's different, like what they created and if the price is going up. It's two different situations.
Yeah.
For sure.
I have to add that religion, Christianity, Buddhism, all these types of religions are the brands and they are the cults. They have their target audiences, brand attributes, artifacts. They attract people but divide humanity to different like sectors and different places, and that's why we can say that their brands, they build cultures around these cults. If you want to succeed in brand marketing and build strong product loved by community, you definitely should build a cult and culture.
And Buddha is bold. So it's the IP of Buddhism saying,
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
We're not going to get into that because I was like, it's the image someone created. It's marketing.
it was just like little joke here, little joke there, you know, my style.
Yeah, okay. So thank you very much. It was lovely and great conversation. And I guess we debunked and confirmed everything that we wanted to debunk and confirm. I'm sure that our listeners will like it. Guys, leave your comments under this episode and follow Aixa, follow Bachi, follow me on X and other social platforms, and comment what myth you liked the most, and maybe you can propose some other myth to debunk, and we can do it in the next episode.
This was really fun. I really enjoy it. I think it's a really great format to talk about brands. And yeah, follow everyone, please. All of us.
I would add, again, thank you, Daria, for having us here. First time doing this. So excited for sharing my thoughts.
Thank you very much, and see you in the next episode. Bye.